This reflection comes from Jason Okundaye, a British writer who recently traveled to Barbados for the Crop Over Festival. His piece, published in The Guardian, paints a vibrant portrait of the island's cultural awakening, its music, its history, its pride, but beneath the paint, feathers, and fire lies a deeper conversation, a harder one that too many are too afraid to have. Barbados, like much of the Caribbean, stands at a crossroads, and the world is watching. But the question is, whose future are we building? Ours or theirs? Okundaye's journey starts like many others, noticing how tourism dominates Barbados' economy. Hotels, galleries, and cruise ships still center white foreign eyes. Tourism accounts for nearly a third of the national GDP. But there's been a shift. Leaders like Andrea Franklin from the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. want to showcase the real Barbados, the culture, the food, the people. And during Crop Over, this effort shines. The festival is electric, a spiritual return to self. But here's the problem. It's not real empowerment if the system is still built to serve outsiders. COVID-19 exposed the fragility of tourism. When the planes stopped landing, our economies collapsed. Why? Because we forgot or ignored what true independence means. We outsourced our survival. And now, with global tourism returning, we must ask, have we learned anything? Or are we once again dressing dependency in cultural costume? Prime Minister Mia Mottley is a global voice. She severed ties with the British Crown, challenged the IMF, and made headlines for climate justice. But there's a paradox, because even as we cut ties with colonial power, we're still bending to their new agendas. Take, for example, the repeal of Barbados' same-sex laws. In the article, it's called a triumph over colonial-era buggery laws. But that label has become a clever disguise, a Trojan horse. Because this isn't about erasing colonialism. It's about appeasing new imperial masters under the flag of human rights. Let's be honest. The Caribbean is a culturally conservative region. Straight nations, family-centered, faith-rooted. And no one voted for this. This wasn't a people's movement. This was pressure from Western powers who themselves are still deeply divided on these issues at home. They couldn't force it in their own parliaments, so they export it to us. And when we resist, suddenly, democracy no longer matters. We're told this is progress. We're told this is inclusion. But whose voices were included in the decision? Who asked the farmers, the churchgoers, the school teachers, the mothers, the elders? Were Bajans even consulted? Or was this another instance where justice was declared from above without the consent of the people? This isn't liberation. It's manipulation. Culture is powerful. Crop Over is a beacon of identity. And yes, as Jason Okundaye describes, the celebration can feel freeing, even transformative. But we must not confuse performance with power. Wearing our heritage for foreign eyes, while surrendering our values behind closed doors, is not freedom. Real empowerment means building systems that serve our people first, not just feeding tourists, not just copying Western models, but growing food, owning land, innovating locally, teaching our own children our own stories. Because jobs in the hospitality industry, while helpful, are not the ceiling. We must think higher and deeper. Jason's reflection captures the spirit of Barbados beautifully. But spirit alone isn't enough. We must ask the harder questions. We must reject the new colonialism, whether it wears a red coat or waves a rainbow flag. We must define progress on our terms, not theirs. The answer is not in tourist dollars, not in international approval, not in imported ideologies. The answer is in us. With respect to Jason Okundaye's original article in The Guardian, August 2025, Barbados is rising, but we must rise in our own image, not someone else's dream.